Take the shortest, safest version of lending money to the American government, the 3-month bill. You lend money to the US for 3 months and they pay it back with interest. Sounds good until you take inflation off of it. Since the year 2000, 59% of all the months lost you money, as in a net loss. The average across the whole period is minus 0.65% a year. And here's what that does to your real money, a real world example. Say you put $10,000 into 3-month government debt. And you did this back in January of 2015, and you rolled it over and over, reinvesting every payment. Your account today would say that you have about $12,700. So you put in $10,000, they paid you interest on top of it, and it feels like you're winning. But that $12,700 buys you around about $8,900 worth of stuff compared to 2015. So when you factor in inflation, you're just way behind. 11 years of doing the safe thing, lending to the most powerful government on earth, and you are down. That's what I mean when I say it's a toxic asset. No one wants it, so they pile it onto you. You can see all of this in the table, what the different lengths of bonds would have returned for you. So check it out on the site. And this is the reset, really. If the US messes a foreign government around by letting inflation run above the interest that they are paying them, the government can just refuse to lend them money anymore. But your pension fund, your money market fund, they cannot. They are built to hold this stuff. That's the whole reason they exist. So once the debt sits with people who can't leave, the cheapest way to deal with $40 trillion of debt is to let inflation grind it down. They force the debt onto you. They pay you interest with the money that they borrowed off of you in the first place. You get poorer every day and they keep spending money. You are the reset. Okay, so you are the reset, but what does it actually mean for you? What can you do about it? First thing is to check what you're holding. Does your pension hold US government debt? Does your 401k? And this isn't just US either. It doesn't matter what country you live in. It's called the global monetary reset for a reason. Your own country's debt is probably just as bad as the US's debt. It might even be worse, to be honest. Now, once you've confirmed whether you're holding debt, you can do one of two things. First is to hold more of it. Okay, I know how that sounds crazy and it's just a bit of a joke really, but there is a little bit of truth to what I just said, because I don't want to be one of these guys that just says cash is bad, buy stocks, only buy stocks. It's not really that simple because stocks are risky. They can go down a lot. The good thing about US government debt is that it is stable and mostly you're just losing a little bit to inflation, sometimes a fair bit. It sounds like I'm trying to sell you on US debt now. I'm not. I'm just making a point. Just bear with me. If you look at your money and you say, hey, most of my money is in the bank right now, then putting your money into US debt is technically better than the bank because all the bank does is lend your money out and pay you a fraction of what it makes on it. Look at this table. Putting your money in the bank for 11 years would have cost you 28% due to inflation. Buying short-term government debt with it would have cost you 11%. Nobody likes losing money. I'd prefer not to lose 11%, but I'd rather lose 11% than lose 28%. You can also use this table to optimize the debt you hold. Over the last 10 years, holding short-term is better than holding long-term. So the idea is you'd still be losing to inflation. You'd just be losing as little as possible. By the way, this table is based on my calculations, and you shouldn't trust it fully with your life savings. It's an illustration of what holding US government debt versus putting your money in the bank would return. Talk to a financial advisor. The data is real and the calculations are real, but I'm just saying, right? So if you don't want to lose money to inflation at all, then let's talk about step 2. What else can you do? 2 is just don't lend out all your money. Loosely speaking, you can split what you do with your money into 2 categories. You either lend it or you buy something with it. Most people lend their money even without realizing it. If you put your money into the bank, just a savings account, for example, you're lending your money to the bank. The bank takes your money, lends it out as a mortgage or gives it to the US government, and they pay you back a pittance in interest. So most people are lenders, and as we've discussed, lending money typically doesn't beat inflation. You're losing money by lending it out. Quick thing before you go, I've written a free guide called How to Retire Before 2036. It's a full 10-year plan for anyone starting late. Get out of debt, invest properly, retire on time. Free download, link in the description.